Hi, I'm Alex from IGN.
And I'm Daniel.
And we are looking at Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Yeah.
So in a previous video, we checked out a traditional level that was set in a POW camp. Now, on this video, this is the kind of hub centre for the Resistance.
So this is the place you come back to in between missions. And
yeah.
I guess it kind of changes things up for a kind of first-person shooter if you're used to Call of Duty or Battlefield or something like that. This is where a lot of the kind of characters live. So if you go on missions, so if you watch the other video, we went to a POW camp, and this is a character we rescued from that situation.
Rescued in the loosest sense, because he's not in particularly good shape.
No, well, he's having a great time.
I'm not even sure if he's alive, to be honest.
Come on, mate, we're trying to win a war. Look at him. He does not care. Like his outfit there. This is Roth, who we just rescued, the whole reason we went into the POW camp. There's loads of characters dotted around here, but we just want to give you a quick tour of this environment and kind of show why it's cool. So there's kind of distinct areas. One of the things is it's quite detailed. So each room, you can kind of infer what it's being used for. So again, similar filing process to the Nazis. Very, very messy.
Yeah. You're not going to find anything in there easily, are you?
So there's lots of documents in here. I guess it kind of implies the kind of, I don't know, the overwhelming bureaucracy of the Nazis and fascism in general.
Yeah.
There's a map here, piecing together all these things you can read about, give you little tidbits about the about the story, flesh it out a little bit. But there's also all these characters dotted about, and some of them you get to know through missions, some you get to know through cutscenes. For instance, there's Klaus. If you look at his arm, actually, you'll see swastikas there. So Klaus was forcibly recruited by the Nazis.
Right.
But he is not a Nazi sympathiser. He wants to overthrow the Nazis.
Gotcha.
And his whole thing is once he defeats them, then he'll get his tattoos removed.
Right.
Then he feels like his sin and his guilt will be expunged.
Gotcha. So as the game goes on, obviously you start off with maybe a couple of people.
Yeah,
in
and this becomes more populated.
Right.
And this is like the info centre. Again, we'll just go around here. But before we go any further, I'll just go back out through the entrance. Let's go run down here quickly. So for instance, this is the garage. So you see these like helicopters.
Right.
So you get more bits of equipment. Now you can't use them whenever you want. It's not an open world game. You can't just hop in them and fly around Berlin. But you'll use them in a mission in a kind of linear way.
Right. But it just feels like there's, you're actually building up power as the game goes on rather than just being a one-man army.
And if you've watched the other Let's Play video we did, you will notice that the world is quite muted and drained of colour. So it's a very kind of sterile palette with bits of colour. I think this, in comparison, is really full of life and vibrant. Look at these like masterpieces of artwork, cubism. I don't know if is that a Vermeer? But up here...
Dog.
German Shepherd Alsatian.
Everyone likes a picture of a dog. Just before the internet, so no cats.
But we're kind of like, I don't know, reclaiming things that the Nazis have stolen. But this area is definitely the most colourful in the game, and I wonder if that's because it's signifying this is where liberty is still thriving.
Right.
So
and candles.
Candles. So this is quite nice. It's a little memorial to all the people that have been lost in the conflict that you've known.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can go into each person has their own room, and there's like little bits of kind of environmental narrative telling you more about their backstory and why they're part of the Resistance. In this room, you'll find Max,
who's missing half of his head.
Yeah, so obviously Max is he's a very large guy, but he's been injured in the conflict. He's very much like Chunk in The Goonies.
Right.
I definitely think that's what they're kind of drawing on. He's kind of, obviously, his mental age is quite low, but he's incredibly powerful and
so
well-intentioned.
He's built like a brick house, but, he hasn't got the brains to match his brawn.
Yeah, but he's an important character.
Yeah.
And this is your living quarters. You can sleep. Sometimes that initiates a cut sequence. Sometimes it progresses time. So this kind of opens up, the more you play the game, you find new areas, new little bits to kind of like pot around in. But
the one thing is adding to the story. Yeah,
one thing I wanted to show you is right up at the top. So let's go around here. See, like for instance, there's little things like here. If you wanted, you can practice your knife throwing. So.
Wow, you've really got to aim high to make sure you hit the bullseye. You've done that before.
So I was basically what you're worried about. So right, let's go through here. So if we go to this like little dishevelled sleeping area, there's something very interesting on the wall, Alex.
That is a poster or a screenshot from the original Wolfenstein.
And if you look down towards the bed, it says nightmare. Do you wish to enter into the nightmare?
Yes, every time.
Okay. So after a little loading screen, something very weird happens.
Right, so it basically takes you all the way back to, well, the Escape from Castle Wolfenstein, the original one.
Do you remember this, Alex, at all?
Do you know, of course I remember Wolfenstein. I didn't actually play it that much. I kind of was more of a Doom guy, which obviously came out afterwards. Obviously, this was the thing that started it all. You're getting shot at from somewhere. So this is kind of a weird mix of, obviously, the Nazis and the levels themselves are pixelated from the original, but you've still got your HD hands and
I've still got all my weaponry. I can go through your willy. So if you go up towards the body, you realise it kind of follows you around in 3D space.
Which it absolutely did in Doom as well, so true to the original.
The effects of war, Alex. Harrowing. Absolutely harrowing. Look at that.
I wonder if... Did he actually die holding that, or did someone moving?
I can't even tell if that's a person, Alex.
It's a skeleton, of course it is. Okay. Why haven't all games got music like this?
You know what? This is one of those theme tunes I think it'll be better after 40 hours of listening to it.
Constantly.
It's like that. It's nice they gave him his own room.
Yes. They don't look after their POWs very well, do they?
I don't think you do. I don't think there's that obligation to look after them.
No, I'm pretty sure that they're just not left to rot. So I wonder if the entire game is in here.
Thing is, I haven't got that far because actually I find this is really difficult.
So it's harder than the actual game.
It's quite tricky, but much the whole game might be on. It's whether they've bothered to remaster all of it, but the whole game wouldn't be that big. No. It would be tiny. You could easily fit on the disc.
Well, yeah, it would have come on a probably a floppy disk back in the day. So
you know more about that than me.
A 3.5-inch floppy. I know everything about that.
Oh, I've run out of bullets.
Oh dear. It says you got 6 bullets left.
I just picked up 6 then.
Okay. Oh.
Horrible shot.
Whatever you do, don't waste them. I always like the unnecessary use of a big slide. Just to over-dramatise.
Alex, do you mean if you were in a yummy dog food? It's nice they've carried that over. You mean if you were escaping from a Nazi stronghold, you wouldn't unnecessarily slide along the floor? I would
slide everywhere.
Like a young child at a wedding. On a dance floor.
You've got very little ammo left.
Alex, what was it like when all games were like this?
Do you know what? It was like, at Christmases, all I used to get for Christmas, like a tangerine and maybe like a walnut. So when you played a game like this, it was amazing.
To be fair, compared to a walnut, this is a bit better.
I like walnuts.
Yeah, I know, but they're not shooting Nazis, are they?
No.
Like,
they really don't mind throwing around a
swastika.
Yeah. And Hitler as well. So does Hitler actually appear in the main game itself?
I'm not sure because I've played it for about 3/4, and so far there's nothing as overt as that in the new Wolfenstein. No. I think they've kind of so far. I don't think there's been. If there has, it's passed me by. But there's not been a mention of like Goebbels, Himmler, Hitler, any of those kind of real life historical figures.
Right.
And I wonder if that's just a kind of a taste and decency thing.
So in terms of the setup, obviously you've got the Nazis winning the war, but there's no mention of what Hitler went on to do or anything like that.
Not yet. So you could get to the final level. I've only played about 3/4 of the way through. But
will they bring Robo Hitler back out?
I don't know if that would fly these days.
No. Well, especially in a game that looks like this, like a Mecha Hitler kind of is more believable. Not in something that's kind of more realistic, I guess.
Yeah, if you've got something that's approaching, not photorealism, but is aspiring to be something like that, it's very difficult to get away with that, I think.
Yeah. That is a whole lot of Nazis grouped together.
Bit of a wiener fest in there.
Right. And on that bombshell, that is Escape from Castle Wolfenstein that is within Wolfenstein The New Order. So for everything Wolfenstein, keep it locked on IGN.
Whee!